The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. To you, Jesus said to his disciples, "To you who hear, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. To the person who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other one as well. And from the person who takes your cloak, do not withhold even your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from the one who takes what is yours, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. For if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. If you lend money to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners and get back the same amount. But rather, love your enemies and do good to them, and lend expecting nothing back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, for He Himself is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as also your Father is merciful. Stop judging, and you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and gifts will be given to you. A good measure, packed together, shaken down, and overflowing, will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you. The Gospel of the Lord. It's a lot of wisdom on one page. I think this might be like a really, really excellent examination of conscience, just to read this passage from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 27 through 38. We say it one more time in case you didn't catch it. Luke 6, 27 through 38. Or just go look it up on your favorite daily readings app or whatever you have going. Some really, some words that I think everyone can relate to here. Right? Everyone has experienced tension. They have a person or persons in their life that they feel like as an enemy of theirs. And guess what? There's a good chance that someone has considered you their enemy as well. But Jesus tells us how we should be responding to these kinds of human conflicts. Right? He shows us what it looks like to really love. He shows us, I think, especially in a time like today where the disagreements in our society are many, over many different topics, over the way we should respond to kind of the signs of the times. I think the best way to try and boil it down is to just look at this last piece. Stop judging, and you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. We're making judgments all the time. I don't care who you are, right? You can tell me, "Oh, Father, I'm not a judgmental person." Well, now I'm going to think you're a liar, probably. Because we're all judging things all the time. It doesn't mean that you're judging people or that you're judging them harshly or you're judging their salvation. But everyone has to make judgments about all kinds of things all the time. It's part of just thinking, right? It's kind of making an evaluation of something and go, okay, here's what I think this thing is right now. I think it's important not to dig our heels in too deep on any one of those things, to make any final judgments of other people. Even when we see an action that a person has done and we judge that action to not be virtuous or good or appropriate or whatever, we still got to be careful about, how much that affects our opinion of a person, and how are we called to respond to them? We might have some very fierce disagreements with someone. We're still called to love them. But we've fallen into this state where when people talk about things that they're passionate about, if people don't agree with them, then it's like, now we can't be friends. Or now we can't have civil discourse. Or we devolve into condemning one another. At the end of the day, people are going to see things different ways. We might even think it's kind of a Christian thing to write someone off because they believe in something that we would look at as ungodly. But not even Jesus did that. It's like, who would we be to be the ones who are condemning? God forbid that when we meet the Lord, that we should have this on our conscience of having been condemners of other people. Because otherwise, here's what Jesus is telling us, guys. The way that you forgive, that's the way you'll be forgiven. If we judge other people harshly and we condemn them, we're looking at that same kind of standard being applied to us by God. If we're quick to forgive, we say, you know what? Let me have some compassion for this person. We might have a disagreement. I wonder why they think the way they think. I wonder what's going on with them. Or I might condemn the action that this person is carrying out publicly or habitually or routinely without thinking twice about it. It still doesn't give me the right to condemn the person. I condemn the action, but I still have to be like looking out for the best for that person. That's that whole love your enemies, pray for those who mistreat you lesson from the beginning. Today, let's ask the Lord for generosity of spirit, to be able to give the benefit of the doubt to those people that maybe we don't see eye to eye with, to have the courage and the humility to continue in dialogue with them, to have the humility to admit that maybe there's still something in that person for us to learn from. Most of all, that we would be humble enough to follow the word of the Lord and to remain close to him.